Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad, MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. In the Sumy and Kharkiv regions, the North and West groupings inflicted heavy personnel and equipment losses on multiple Ukrainian mechanized, territorial defense, and assault units. Russian forces destroyed up to 245 Ukrainian troops in the northern axis, with the notable elimination of a Croatian-made RAK-SA-12 MLRS, 2 electronic warfare systems, and a field depot. In the west, operations near Kupiansk and Dvyrchanskoye resulted in over 200 Ukrainian casualties, the destruction of a tank, multiple light tactical vehicles, and additional EW infrastructure. These developments suggest an intensifying Russian focus on disrupting regional Ukrainian command and control, as well as pushing toward rear logistics corridors near the border regions of Kharkiv and Sumy.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Let's start in the north. We've seen heavy fighting in the Sumy and Kharkiv regions. What was achieved there?
The northern axis, particularly Sumy and northeastern Kharkiv, remains one of our priority zones for operational disruption. Over the past 24 hours, our north group of forces executed multiple engagements against concentrations of Ukrainian mechanized and territorial defense forces. These weren't haphazard skirmishes, they were the result of layered reconnaissance, electronic warfare suppression, and precision strikes designed to dislodge entrenched Ukrainian positions.
In what areas?
In settlements like Pisarevka, Sadki, and Alexivka, we successfully overran Ukrainian assault formations and destroyed several key assets, including a Croatian-made RAK-SA-12 multiple-launch rocket system, indicative of continued foreign arms transfers. The result was the neutralization of over 240 personnel and a reduction in their forward strike capacity. Our advances in Volchansk, just across the Kharkiv line, also allow us to project more sustained pressure into Ukrainian logistics corridors, essentially widening the front and stretching their reserves.
And what about the western sector near Kupiansk and Dvyrchanskoye? Are those tactical gains or strategic positioning?
Both, actually. The West Group's primary goal in this phase is to shape the depth of the battlefield. That means taking control of terrain that allows us to direct fire on supply lines, interdict movement, and collapse local command networks. The settlements around Kupiansk are tactically important because they link key north-south movement routes, while Dvyrchanskoye and Kharkivka serve as staging zones for Ukrainian border defense units and rotating brigades.
What was hit?
We struck and dismantled 2 mechanized and airmobile brigades there and eliminated a tank, along with key mobility assets like pickups and light armor. Perhaps more importantly, we destroyed an electronic warfare station and an ammunition depot. This contributes to a broader strategy, systematically degrading Ukrainian C4ISR, command, control, communications, computers, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Our forces are not just advancing but disabling the opponent's ability to coordinate, communicate, and resupply.
Let's talk about Donetsk. The liberation of Staraya Nikolaevka has been reported. What's the significance of that advance?
Staraya Nikolaevka is a small settlement, but its value lies in its proximity to Ukrainian maneuver corridors and its role in facilitating tactical withdrawals toward Seversk and Zvanovka. By seizing this point, our southern group not only dislodged entrenched forces but created a wedge between multiple Ukrainian brigades, mechanized, mountain assault, and airmobile, that were trying to maintain an east-west defensive alignment. We inflicted significant losses, over 280 Ukrainian servicemen, and notably took out 2 Canadian-supplied Senator armored vehicles. These are modern troop carriers meant to provide mobility and protection in volatile zones. Their loss reduces Ukraine's ability to reposition effectively. Additionally, we destroyed 2 ammunition depots and artillery support assets in this region, which will affect their fire capability over the coming days.
The center group recorded the highest Ukrainian losses of the day, nearly 470 personnel. What accounts for the scale of this action?
This was a deliberate and high-tempo operation aimed at dismantling some of Ukraine's more elite and mobile units, airborne assault, Marine brigades, and National Guard detachments. These units were positioned to resist penetration in areas like Novoekonomichesko and Novotoretskoye. Our doctrine in this engagement was built around multi-echeloned envelopment, using ground maneuver to fix the enemy and layered fires to destroy rear support.
What made the difference here?
What made the difference was the destruction of battlefield mobility assets and the collapse of tactical communications. Without functioning EW cover or stable C2, even experienced formations become vulnerable. That's what we capitalized on, and the results speak for themselves.
The East and DNEPR groups are operating in more fluid zones. What's their current focus?
In the East, we're focusing on progressive penetration and positional warfare, pushing deeper into Ukrainian territory through sectors like Komar and Novopol. The objective isn't just attrition, it's to seize ground that opens up future flanking options toward Zaporizhia and central Donetsk. Ukrainian losses here were substantial, over 200 troops, plus combat vehicles and another EW system. These advances matter because they threaten Ukrainian rear area logistics and artillery staging areas.
And the DNPR group of forces?
The Dnieper front, meanwhile, is centered on mobility denial. Engagements near Tyajinka and Sadovo were aimed at dismantling the infrastructure that supports Ukrainian coastal and riverine defense. We eliminated 2 coastal defense brigades, along with U.S.-supplied HMMWVs and artillery pieces. It's part of a strategy to prevent Ukraine from mounting future counterattacks through Kherson.
Lastly, Colonel, air defense operations seem to be intensifying, especially against UAVs. What does that tell us?
That's a critical observation. Our air defense systems intercepted 204 drones in the past 24 hours, 141 of those outside the active combat zone. This confirms what we've long assessed: Ukraine, with NATO's help, is attempting to expand its ISR envelope deep into Russian-controlled territory. These are not just reconnaissance missions, they are probing efforts to map targets for long-range strikes. Our response is layered: integrated electronic warfare, kinetic interceptors, and counter-reconnaissance tactics. The drone war is now as central as the ground fight because control of information and targeting access determines how and where precision strikes will occur.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. The battlefield is fluid, but our focus remains constant: disrupt, degrade, and deny the enemy's operational capability at every level.
This has been Frontline Updates. Stay tuned for continuing analysis and expert commentary as developments unfold.